Whoa, whoa, whoa. What up, people? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Man, I wanted to jump up in here today, man, and talk about a subject, man. That's real serious with a lot of us, man. They got a lot of us in the trick bag right now, man. And I've experienced this shit personally myself. I was watching the brother Sub Zero, man. Salute to Sub Zero, man. Glad you made it home, brother. You're one of the bros out here that's actually on his internet, man. That's speaking some truth. That's speaking like a real OG, talking to these shorties, man, and trying to tell them some of the shit they should do and not do, even when the odds stacked against you, you know. So, man, I'm listening to the brother live, man. He was talking about his Rikers Island experience. How they, man, the conditions is like, man, super horrific. They got 30 to 40 men in one bullpen. It's 90 to 100 degrees up in there. And they bringing you gotta be everybody on the floor, man. And they bringing you that garbage. You know what I mean? They bring you that straight garbage. But they bring you all day, 3 times a day, milk, 4 to 6 slices of bread. That's at every central bookings across the United States. That's how they carry it. In any city. It might be a little different when you cross the counties and shit, when you get up to the burbs and shit like that. But any central buckets in the cities in most major cities, man, is the conditions is horrific, man. And it's like, man, that bread and that milk, you know what that do to, black man bodies, you know? It's like, man, it's not good for you. And they feed that shit to you nonstop. They pump it in. That's all they gonna give you is bread, milk, and you better hope the milk's not spoiled. You know what I mean? I don't know about a lot of other places, but man, they sell it. They serve that base here as the flavored drink. But people don't know the base is used to keep the men's sexual hormones down. That's what the base is used for. But that shit is coloring your insides. You know what I mean? That base is like, man, that shit's no good for you. That base will start a fire. But that's the drink they serve in Central Buckins, especially here in Baltimore. I mean, so I've listened to Sub Zero, man. He liked the way the young shorties in there gang banging. You gotta, man, when you come in, they gonna check your nuts off the rip. That's what that's with every Central Booking steel side that you go to across the country. County jail. The shorties is running the jails now. So if you go in there as an OG now, you gotta make sure you go in there firm, or they gonna carry you. They gonna carry you like some luggage. You know what I mean? It's like, man, I was listening to Sub Zero, and it's like, man, he had to put the game face on when he first got there. But then once they see they can't check your nuts and make you tuck your nuts, most of them shorties, man, when you get to really rapping to them, like, damn, shorty, what you doing up in here? Because you check some of these cats' ages. And if you're a real OG, you start speaking to these young dudes. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's the same experience he did. Man, my last time in Central Bookings, man, when I went in there, I had to, because you have to put your feet down and let them know, yeah, you're an older cat, but you ain't one of these older cats that's about to be violated up in here, man. So it's like, man, J.E., man, salute to you as well. Respect from East Flatbush, BK, man. I appreciate it, man. I definitely appreciate it. And it's like, man, he was talking about his Rikers Island experience, man. And they've been talking about closing Rikers Island down for some years now, but it's like, man, that's the same way Central Booking is here in Baltimore. It's like, man, they feed you this because now they stopped serving any type of real meat. Now you got those imitation hot dogs, imitation bologna. You know what I mean? Then they give you that 6 slices of bread and milk. I mean, that's just messing your insides up. And all you doing there the entire time, everybody in there got gas. Everybody in there gas smelling exactly the same. Because this shit that they be putting in our bodies. We worked in the kitchen at one Do you know a lot of that food that they be serving, if you look at the label, is not for human consumption? The food they be serving in these jails, these central bookings, these county jails, a lot of the labels say not used for human consumption. But it's like, man, they poison you, and if you come in there with an injury, you lucky, especially after this post-COVID shit. You know what I mean? If you might be in there 3-4 days before you even get to see medical. If you get to see him, depending on what state you in, depending on what type of what's your background as well. Because a lot of these COs carry real file, like they really like it's they crib. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, listening to that brother, man, and I had to salute him, man. Sub-Zero, much respect to you, salute to you, bro. I'm glad you're home. But man, we need more bros on here that's speaking his truth, like that brother and myself is doing. Because there's too many of us on here that's glamorizing the jail life. There's too many of us that's like, man, that's the thing to do. Like that, you have to get them stripes to be acclimated into saying you're a real one. You know what I mean? And man, I went through that phase in my life when you trying to be stomped down. You know what I mean? We all go through it, but man, us older cats shouldn't be promoting that right now as the way to go to these shorties. They got enough pressure on themselves right now. You know what I mean, man? You got these kids, man, they going up in there and they fearless. They have no fear, man. They shoot in broad daylight. They cutting in broad daylight. They violate people in broad daylight. This generation here, they are way more courageous than we were, but they using it in such a negative fashion where it's used against they using it against their own youth. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, more people need to talk about these central bookings, these county jails in these cities, man, because a lot of them they should be shut down, man. They're inhumane. They have the filth of them. Now, mind you, jail ain't supposed to. The purpose of jail is not to be comfortable. That's off the muscle. But you still supposed to be treated like you're human. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, man, you still supposed to be treated like you're human. This generation have no code or principles like 80s and zero, bro. It's like, man, the last time I was locked up, man, it was like commissary day was Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, you saw somebody in here get violated, get their shit split, and get their commissary taken. And then you got these bros sitting up, and if you're in a dorm setting, they cook and whip your shit up, whipping hookups up right in your face with your ribs touching your back. And these dudes sit there and have to take it because it's a numbers game to these shorties. You understand what I mean? There's no way you're going to take my food and then cook my shit in front of me, eat in front of me, and I'm sitting over there with, man, my stomach over here like a marching band. It's not going down, man. We're gonna have to. It's gonna be a serious situation. I had to tell some of the young cats when I got up in there, because they had the Bloods was starting to kick in here heavy in Baltimore. The BGFs was kind of heavy here, and everybody knew it. I've never claimed nothing but GD in my prior days. Not active as of today, but I ain't finna pretend like I'm anything else no matter where I go. So it's like, man, they tried it. They always gonna check you, try and check your temperature. But I had and I ain't trying to be funny when I say this, I had a switching homosexual gangbanger and his boyfriend call himself in to check my nuts. There's no way in hell I'm gonna let that happen. You understand what I mean? And it's like, man, y'all walking around here, and that's some shit y'all respect. Ain't no way you walk around here with your pants hanging off your ass switching, and you think you finna violate me. Man, you have to take my life. That's my mentality. You have to take my life, period. Because I'm definitely going to try to take yours if you're trying to violate me. So, and it's like, man, and the numbers game is so in their favor. Most of the older cats that be in there, that's why, man, if you're an older cat now, and if you ain't about to be released, if you did some recent going in, you're a fucking fool for real if you can help it. If it ain't no shit you really have to go, man, it's not set up for you to win. It's set up for you to be violated, taken advantage of, and starving up in there. if you ain't prepared to really, man, go all the way in, man. So it's like, man, we need to speak up more on these county jails, these central bookings, the Rikers Islands, etc. Man, these places need to be shut down because the conditions that these people are living in, it's like it's treacherous. It's so much money go to these it's funded to these places, but none of it gets actually used in the proper context of what it's for. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, did the COs be having grudge matches to give you treats and shit, treating them like animals, treating you like you're a fucking dog on a leash. And it's too many older cats that be locked up in these places that be putting these batteries in these shorties back, telling them to violate somebody that look just like them, instead of telling them to violate them fucking COs who's in here violating them and treating them inhumane. You need to know who the real enemy is. And that's what we the disconnect, man. Most cities that you go into now, the Spanish guys, they carry it together. Where if one go, they all going. Whether you straight off the boat from Mexico, whether you from Texas, whether you from Baltimore, whether you from New York, the Spanish cats gonna roll together. It's too many times that us as blacks, we get up in there and we don't. If you going in GD, BD, Crip, Blood, Black, Peace, Stone, no matter what, we need to start opening these young brothers' eyes as to knowing they need to go in there as African Americans. You are black, so blacks stand together no matter. Don't you can't separate it by sanctions, by factions of different organizations / gangs. That's why we always taking the losses. That's why we always losing. All the other races, they make sure they stick together and they sit in their little pocket and they don't let nobody in that pocket. They got their own guns in there. They make sure they feed each other. They make sure everybody stay nutritioned up. So in case some jump off, we the total opposites. We see brothers in there, you know that ain't got no peoples on the outside sending them nothing. You'd have been around them long enough. You'll sit there and watch them starve. You'll sit there and take anything that they do get. You'll sit there and use a weapon on your brother instead of getting your brother want to protect himself and your back. You know what I mean? That's the mentality that too many of us have, and it's too many of us older cats that's tolerating and promoting and pushing that type of mentality to these shorties that's already coming in there with PTSD, that's already coming in there with trauma, that's already coming in there. You understand what I'm saying? Like, man, we need to wake up while these places are still open. We need to start conditioning and preparing ourselves in a proper fashion so we can make it up in there, so these young boys can, man, survive up in there. So you ain't treated like you an animal up in there. If you gonna jump, if you gonna set it off on the machine. You don't set it off on your own people. That's the mentality, man. We gotta keep drilling, man. So I salute Sub-Zero because, man, the mentality that he's pushing is pushing, man. Unity, man, because, man, we need to figure it out, man, because it's too much divide and conquer shit, man. Numbers game is real. The numbers game is real, man. But we always lessen our numbers because we always go against each other with different factions, different pockets, different sets, different blocks, different gangs, different organizations. So we make our numbers way smaller. We'll sit there and watch a group of Latin Kings, MS-13s, what's the ones up tech, man? A whole group of Spanish cats violate some brothers, and you'll watch it just because they might be a blood. You'll watch it just because they might be a Crip. You'll watch it because they might be GD or BD. Instead of looking at it, man, they violating our brother. That's the mentality we need to be pushing, and there's too many so-called OGs that's pushing that's putting the batteries in these shorties back with this mentality that, like, that shit is okay, man. We already up against it because a lot of these places need to be shut down. And the only way that it's going to happen is it's not going to happen from the outside in. It's going to have to happen from the inside out. You got to unify up in there and put shit together. Just because you are incarcerated don't mean you are not a human being. And we sit there and tolerate it like we supposed to be treated that way. No. If you're going to violate somebody, you violate them, the machines that violate you, which is the COs, which is the captain, which is the colonel. Come on now. We gotta start waking up, man, and opening our eyes up to the real, man. We stay putting ourselves at the back of the line, man, when it's already stacked against us in the first place. But man, a lot of these places, man, we need to start signing these petitions. We need to start putting out the information for these counties, for these central bookings, for these Rikers Islands, for them to be shut the fuck down, man. Because there's no way they should still be open with the conditions that's happening and the amount of violence and deaths that our people are dealing with on a week-to-week, month-to-month, year-to-year basis in these places, man. Just being real, man. I just wanted to come on here, man, and salute the bro, Sub-Zero, man. Fight that case with your chin up, man, and you got a brother that sent you in there, that sent another brother off on you on some other sucker shit. Then the brother telling, like, come on, man, we violate each other and try to make sure we stay down at the bottom too much. That's why, man, I tell everybody, we got an opportunity, get out the hood, man. Being a hood celebrity is not cool no more, man. Being a hood celebrity is not cool no more. And it's like, man, once you get up in there and you give them the high-ass bails, then one of your homeboys gonna come get you. If you got a good woman like mine, my woman coming to get me off the rip. But all of us don't have that. You understand what I'm saying? All of us don't have that. But we'll put our life on the line for the so-called, for the gang. And the gang gonna leave your ass sitting up in there, then send you on a dummy mission while you in there, man. Like, come on, man. And these OGs, man, y'all need to stop being OGs, man, for real, or step the fuck out the way, man, and stop sending these shorties off, man, for real. It's my take on it, man. Appreciate you, J.E., man, for stepping in and tapping in with it, bro, man. Everybody that, man, touched down with me, man. Appreciate it, man. I just wanted to send a little salute to the bro, Sub-Zero, man, for standing tall, man, staying firm, man. I've been following the brother for years, man. He always keep it 10 toes, in my perspective, in my point of view, anyway. So, man, that's all I wanted to know, man. Look up your aldermen, look up your people in your district, man, and start putting these petitions that need to be signed, or start creating petitions of your own, man. Get these fucking counties and bookings, central bookings out of your community, man, out of your city that don't need to be shut down. It's violating your sons, it's violating your friends, it's violating your nieces and nephews, your brothers and sisters, man. Get them motherfuckers up out of there, man, out of these cities, man, for real. Man, that's all I'm with today, man. Just wanted to do a quick one, man. Like, subscribe, and share, man. Y'all Chicago's finest, man. Already. You ain't got to like it. You ain't got to respect it. But you will not disrespect it. Holla back.